here. Your country has been a member of the IEA since 1962, and this is the first time a Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency visits Liberia. So long overdue, but happy to be here. Most importantly, the work that we are going to be doing here in a number of areas, mainly cancer, nuclear medicine, oncology, working on agriculture, water, what is called the nuclear applications, not nuclear energy, but the applications of nuclear technologies to many developmental areas. So I'm really delighted. We're going to be looking at with the government, with the president, with the foreign minister, with the minister of energy, and others. We're going to be looking at the specific projects that we are already starting here, and of course, we hope to give it a big push now with this visit. Well, for example, as I was telling your colleague now, when it comes to medicine, we're going to be supporting the establishment of a new radiotherapy at the John Fitzgerald Kennedy Memorial Hospital, providing equipment that will make it possible to treat more patients here. The cancer impact in the country is quite high. So we want to improve that, making available technology and also training for Liberian professionals so they can help the population in a better way. So, I've been in many countries in Africa, and I always thought that nuclear energy, which is clean energy, should not be reserved to a handful of countries. In fact, there is a growing interest in Africa, where until now only South Africa is exploiting nuclear energy, but now Egypt is building nuclear power plants. Some of your neighbors in Ghana, in Senegal, in Kenya, in Rwanda, where I was the other day, in Ethiopia, there are lots of ideas and plans to have nuclear energy, because now we have new technologies, smaller reactors, more affordable and more efficient. So I will also explore that with the government. So I would say, why not? Absolutely. It's a possibility for Liberians as well.
Observe that women, people will just come up and come and say, interest, this person is there, you got a position, this person is there, holding the position, this person. So the women and say, let us sit down and make a document for Lofa County, because Lofa County we are coming back. So if we make the document for Lofa County, we our decision. It will be in the women's hand, but not the men. It will be in our hand. So we can't select somebody, then you will just come from what I say. The person will not be working with you. I take the person from there. So when they call me, they came to me, I said no, because when I was the traditional council chair, I didn't know what I did. Just in the move me from there without telling me anything. So I was vexed. I even cried on the program. I said I don't want to go no dealership in local country now. Let me just listen to our human village. They kill the service council, they kill the baby. The government to say what you ought to be in the meeting, post the meeting. So all the next around me, they baking, they say, we want you to be our candidate because we know what you can do. I had they put me there, I told them no, but they begged me and they put me there, they say, if I today, we're not going to know where to go.
What a pleasant way to welcome you. They want us to feel stupid. So, folks, wherever you are, however you are joining the broadcast this evening, I'd love to say welcome to the talking point.
Sometimes they can take the team before you know they put it down.
And today is Tuesday, July 8, 2025.
Because, this is why I was telling the citizen.
My name is Ambassador KONAH RUFUS. This is how I'd love to welcome you to tonight's edition of the Talking Point. As usual, tonight's edition promises to be fascinating, right? So we're going to be discussing those issues that matters to Liberia.
So they want us to think straight. So they want us to feel stupid. So they want us to be.
So like I said, tonight, we're going to be talking with our guest, Mr. Toga Alexander Bleeded. I hope I'm getting the last name properly. We're going to be discussing those issues that matters to Liberia. I'm seeing already in the background. So just increase the volume of your radio. Those of you following us online, we'd love to say help us to share the live video as well. A promise to be fascinating. So let me see if I can go over to my guest. Yes, for us to begin this conversation tonight on the Talking Point on Blaze Radio 90.7 FM. So let me go to him there to see if he's okay, if his entire audio, everything is okay. Uh Mr. Bidet, I love to say welcome.
KONAH, thank you very much. It's a pleasure joining you
Okay,
tonight.
okay.
I'm happy. I'm Toga Alexander Biede, and
Yeah, just let me just do some little adjustment. Let me just do some as it relates to your audio. I'm getting you, but it seems like it's not going online to on the radio. Okay, let me do some adjustment here. Okay, yeah, you were saying something. Are you getting me?
yes. So I said I'm Toga. Yes, are you hearing me as well?
Yeah, I don't know what was unfolding. Okay, let me just do this setup again. Let me
Are you hearing me as well?
I'm getting you, but it's not going on the radio. That's the issue. But let me do the setup. Let me just take a short break to do the setup right here on Blaze Radio 90.7 FM. So folks, let me just remain there.
Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's how they want us to be. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's how they want us to be. That's how they want us to be. They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days. So what about the slavery days? So what about the slavery days? They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days. So what about the slavery days? So what about the slavery days? Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think straight. So they want us to.
Okay, so folks, we love to say welcome back, Survey. Let's see if we can go back to our guests for him to come on, and let's see his audio if it will. Yeah, Mr. Blade.
Yes, are you getting me?
Yes, I don't know what's unfolding here. I don't know what the technical team. If you're out there, you need to come in, please. The technical team, if you're out there,
Is
I think you need to
Are you
come
having a
in.
problem with?
I'm getting
With
you. Yeah, it's not the problem is not from me. I think the problem is from our board here. The problem is from our board here. The problem is not from you. I think the problem is from our board here. So I don't know what's unfolding with our board on this side. Okay. Well, okay. So folks, just remain there. We have a very good conversation here tonight as it relates to those issues that matters to Liberia. Yeah, we're gonna have a very good conversation here tonight. Okay, let me see this one. Okay, so yeah, try again. Let me see, please.
Are you getting me? Am I
Okay, I think
clearer?
yeah, I think it's getting better a little bit. I think it is getting
Yeah.
better. I think it's getting better a little bit. Yeah, I think it is getting
Let me
better.
see if I can increase my volume a little bit.
Okay.
I've increased my volume to the loudest here.
Yeah. So Come here, please. Come here. I don't know what's up for there, but let me just do this. I think this will work from here. I think it will definitely work from it from this.
Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's how they want us to be. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's who they want us to be. That's who they want us to be. They've been celebrating all these days.
Okay, so try again. Let me see. I think it's better now. It
Are
should be
you
better
getting me
now.
now?
Okay.
Are you getting
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, okay. I'm getting you. I'm getting you. Hey, wow. What's really happening to this thing?
Where's your technician?
That's it. Oh my word. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Okay. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Great, 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 great. Thank you then.
Okay. So,
Is
sorry again for the delay. Yeah. Sorry again for
yes,
it.
no problem, my brother.
Yeah. So welcome to the broadcast this evening.
Thank you, Kona. It's a pleasure to join you and all of your listeners who are listening to you. I understand that you're in the GSA rural community.
Yeah, in the rehab old boss standing point. That's where we are.
Okay, so you're in the rehab area. So that
Yeah.
means you have a lot of control over the Painesville belt.
Of course. In fact, the station we are in 9 counties except for Painesville.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. It's
Yeah.
good to be on the show, and wherever people are and listening. I am happy to be on your show this evening or tonight on your end, and it's good to be here.
Okay, that's good. So let's start the conversation. Who is Mr. Toga Alexander Bide? Sorry when I missed the last name, the
Yeah, so
pronunciation.
I'm Toga Alexander Biede. Yeah, I
Okay,
know
please.
you're a young man, so probably you didn't follow my days when I was active. Are you also on Facebook before we go further?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Yeah,
Are you
Ambassador
streaming
Kona
live on
Rufus.
Facebook, the show right now?
Yeah, YouTube and Facebook. I just sent you the link, the Facebook link.
Okay, because I want to see whether, but it hasn't reached me.
I just sent you the link.
You send it to what?
Okay, my internet is
I
disconnected.
think
That's
yes. I think so.
okay. Let me
Yeah, but
reconnect.
send it to my WhatsApp, and I like to also spray in some pages and stuff like that. Yes, but I used to be, in terms of media, I used to be manager for Kings FM, Cloud TV, and City FM way back.
Yeah,
That was around 2012 and 2013. And then I also used to manage LIB 24. I think that was maybe 2015 or so. I also ran the Parrot newspaper, were based on Broad Street those days. So I spent a lot of time in the media. At the moment, I also, on a part-time level, I come on the closing argument show once in a while when I have time. And I'm studying abroad. I'm doing my master's in government with emphasis in conflict resolution and diplomacy. So I'm still a media guy. I have a first degree in mass communication and English from the United Methodist University.
yeah,
I'm very I'm very passionate about the issues happening in Liberia. I was recently I was recently appointed by the stand committee to help with media, publicity for media, publicity, propaganda for the international aspect of this upcoming July 17 protest. So that's a little bit about who I am. So I'm glad to be here tonight. So we talk about the upcoming protest. Just a while ago, uh, the Chairman Mobile Molu, was on another radio, and we're all spread across on different platforms, speaking to different issues across the country. So it's good that I can be here and be able to participate tonight on your show. And I'm happy that Liberians all over can be listening, and we can definitely share our views and opinions on issues unfolding in the country. So thank you very much, Kona, for the invitation. I'm glad that you were able to reach out to us, and so that we can also add our views on issues happening in the country. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your introductory statement. So, for those of you out there listening, following us online, you just have to relax because the program promises to be fascinating as always. You know, the talking point always bring you the news makers right at your doorstep. So, let me go back to my guest. What really inspired you to join this thing organization, especially as it relates to the July 17 protest?
I mean, a lot is going on in Liberia. Uh, Times are difficult. The challenges are there. Our people are making huge demands of issues that are necessary for the country, and we cannot sit supinely and think that we shouldn't get involved with the day-to-day run of the country and the way things are being done in the country. It is just good enough that some of us get involved and make sure that we can air our views on some of the unfoldings in the country. We all know how Liberia is right now. We all see the difficulties in the country. We all see the malfeasances. We all see, you know, even the issue of the deaths and things that take place in the country. When you count it since the Boakas administration, the number of people that have died on reckless unfolding circumstances, these can say to you that times are very difficult. The other day there was a lady who came from Canada, came to Liberia, went to a house in Marshall. She was reportedly raped and murdered right in her home. To date, the police has just the police has only said that 5 people were arrested. The Liberian people don't know what was happening with that any further and all that. These are things that scare away investors from the country. These are things that create pandemonium. All right. And while these crucial issues are going on, the government is running after political opponents all around the place, and they are leaving issues that they should be tackling. The president is still using private jets across the world. They justifying it. They're not apologizing to the former regime for it, and all that kind of stuff. You can see clearly that the Unity Party administration is not ready to solve the people's problem. Hundreds of people are being dismissed from their jobs across the bailiwick of the government, whether it's from the Ministry of State, whether it's from other sectors of the government. Hundreds and thousands of people are being dismissed. These people go home and they cannot earn any better opportunity for themselves and their families. Times are tough in the country. Times are difficult. We have not sorted the bread and butter issue of the country. I listened to the LPRC boss, I think today at the Senate, where he's talking about the increment in petroleum products due to what's happening in the Middle East, the issue in Iran, and all those kind of stuff. Have you checked the statistics? If you went to the statistics to check, petroleum products are sold at far lesser price in these countries that quote unquote war is fighting than a country like ours with our war. And the war in the Middle East, for example, between the two countries lasted for 12 days. Why do we like to lie to our people this way? How do you tell the Liberian people that a 12-day war in the Middle East got you out of stock for the Liberian market? It doesn't make sense. The LPRC is a storage facility. So technically, if even the entire world collapsed with fuel product, the LPRC cannot tell us that they are unable to store Liberian products for at least 1 month. Are you saying if there were a major crisis in a month, we as a country and the government would be unable to handle the shock that comes with this matter? Is that what we say? Is that what we tell our people? That a 12-day war in the Middle East makes Liberia to be out of petroleum products? Then we that's
Yeah,
that
but yeah, someone would say, why now? Because these things have been in existence since record ages. Why now? Why are you talking about protesting now if these things had existed before the Barker administration?
but yeah, but the thing here is, Conan, they were given the same rights and privileges that they are finding it difficult to give other people today. They were given an opportunity to protest on June 7, 2019. It was because of these same issues. There's a post that people have been spinning today about what her name, Kula Fofana. Kula Fofana, who is the current press secretary to the president. This is what she wrote on June 7th. All right. She was talking about the situation on Capitol Hill, that the Save the State massive protest was already going on. It was time that President Weah and his team be not dismissive of the people's voices. His football celebratory popularity is massively dwindling. Governance is different sphere. Get your ass together, Mr. President. This is a warning shot, sir. Social media is currently blocked, but we are using VPN to bypass the blockade. That your current press secretary Kula Fofana writing this on June 7, 2019. There was a massive display of armed police, border patrol, military pressing, fire. Then there were ambulance services parading the streets. She said a lot of things. These are the same people who are saying today there should be no protest, who are saying today, where is your permit? Who are saying today that the government doing so well why people want to protest. I listened to, I think, the police director last night. The police director last night was saying, and something he said that was, very difficult to fathom. When he said, like, uh, people, we understand that some of you got your illegal firearms. Don't bring it to the protest. We like to inform the police director. These sort of way back, SODATU, Sabu Yune, all kind of attitude. Those things are never going to be held anymore. It is unacceptable. If the police director of the country knows that there are people who have illegal weapons somewhere, he should be picking those people up. He should be picking them up because this protest is not a protest where people bring guns to. It's a safer movement where people who feel disenchanted about the way their country being run, where people who see a government reconciling more with dead people than reconciling with the living. You have pun and pageantry for the dead, but you cannot reconcile with the living. You had a reconciliatory program recently in the country where you invited a foreign pastor and paid him thousands of dollars to come and talk to us about reconciliation. But you don't speak to your neighbor George. We are right in the same uh, 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 rehab community.
Now we will come
Oh,
to all of these issues, right?
You don't call Cummings to a meeting as such. You don't call Joe Howard Taylor. You don't call all the opposition figures in the country, but who you reconciling with?
Yeah, Mr. Abdida, we will come to those issues. But let's look at the word or the acronym enough is enough, the phrase, right? What prompted that name? Enough is enough.
When people continue to do things and they think that they are not accountable to the people, you reach a point where you say enough is enough. When the president continues to ride in private jet, this is a man who came on a mantra of quote unquote, I worked for 42 years in the government. I live in one house in rehab. I've always portrayed myself as a poor man. I live an exemplary life. He takes over the state, and what does he do? He rides in private jet. He goes to buy almost $1 million vehicle, bulletproof vehicle, for an 80-year-old president that could even walk the streets of Monrovia and nobody wants to harm him. He purchases $1 million vehicle, gets a bulletproof, and pass around with it in Monrovia. These things are unacceptable. And this is one of the reasons why African countries are making no further progress, because the way we keep ourselves. The state lies in poverty. The ministers and the officials of government parade the streets and enjoy themselves, fly their friends and families abroad, and think that the place is just a place for a testing case. There's nothing going to happen. And so we've reached a point where we say enough is enough. Citizens, Mobile Molu and team have been going from one community to the other, one county to the other, one district to the other. And you can see the number of Liberians who are rallying from Nukutown to West Point to Claratown. Motorbike riders, the Yana boys, the market women who are still struggling to make ends meet. Even you guys in the media, who all the government officials pick up in the morning, instead of giving businesses like yours some contrast, other than sit down on one show, they call it closing. How you call it? They call it what's the name of that show? You should know it. The class
Uh,
reload.
yeah,
They,
class reloaded. Yeah, that's
yeah,
their name. Class
all the
reloaded.
government officials in the country, because they don't want to even get the media to survive. This is media censorship. It's the first time in the history of the country for all these people to be on one show. But these are the people that are supposed to come to your show in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. Get media institutions paid for airtime, get them strengthened, get the media to survive, but they are killing the media. Journalists should begin to start rising up against these people. How in the world the government officials will run their own show called Class Reloaded and they sit down on it when they should be doing government's work, when they should be helping the state to survive, when they should be supporting the Liberian media to survive? They are killing the media in the country. The media
Now,
don't care for
y-
nothing. The same thing they're doing. You go to the construction sector. The same government official get all the construction contracts. You come to media, the same government official get all the radio stations. You come to telecommunication, they run the same sector. The government officials practically run everything. I heard they into airline businesses and all. They into Yana ball, market women. How does the ordinary people survive when the government officials want to do everything in the country? This is terrible state. It's about
so
time for the
now,
people to rise up, for the people to rally, for the people to call their government to order. This is what is happening in Kenya. In fact, in the last 2 months, there have been two major protests in Kenya alone.
yeah.
People have been
Now with
protesting
the,
across the globe. Right near or in Togo, there has been protests there for bad governance and extension of military rule. These
okay.
people are cautioning these people, and Liberia has to follow the same track.
Okay. Now, with the name enough is enough. Someone is thinking to go and protest. After the protest, what next? A possible government might not listen to you people. What next? What will Stin and the other civil society organization and Liberians? What next will you people do if
So,
the government decide probably to innote your request?
first of all, it will not be about us. If you will ignore that request, it means you will ignore the Liberian people. Because it is the Liberian people that are getting out there on the 17th of July calling their government to order, asking for change, asking for a new day for the country, asking for civil servants to go up. You cannot be paying, say, lawmakers 6 to 7 thousand US dollars. You pay minister 3, 4 to 5 thousand US dollars, but you give civil servants what? 150 US dollars. Can 150? When I tell people in where I go to school now in the world, and I just tell someone that people in my country earn 150, the first question they ask me, how do they survive? That's the first question I'm asked. How do these people survive when they earn 150 US dollars? But imagine this is your government's policy. You have a country where 10,000 or more of the people who got key jobs in the private sector are foreigners. The Sprayware, Metal Steel, B Mountain. There's another company sub hired by Metal Steel to do some work in it. People are spread. I think they call them AFCOMs. Check the statistics. Over 10,000 foreign workers in a poor country like Liberia. And the least that each of these foreign workers will earn should be between 10 to 15,000 US dollars a month. Because you're talking about the man lodging, you're talking about his feeding, you're talking about his transportation, you're talking about the pay that is settled in his home country and his incidental in the country that he is. But they are doing jobs that Liberians could do. Imagine if you were to reduce 10,000 workers, foreign workers, to 5 to 3,000. Imagine if $15,000 that you pay one of them could be spread around 20 Liberians. Imagine that. It means a lot of Liberians will be employed. The money will sit in the economy. People will get jobs. Because tell me, one working class person in the country is capable of feeding 10 to 15 other people. Do you know how that is broken down? Let me let you know. If one man is working, the first thing when he leaves his house in the morning, he leaves money for his family to go to the market. Those people that go to the market, they are already taking care of the economy by supporting a market woman somewhere in the market. So they go to buy food. That man must have a nurse. That man kids go to school, so he pays a school. So technically, he's indirectly paying a teacher. The money that man makes spread out. As he earns, he start to build or construct a home. Masoners, carpenters begin to earn through him. You see how the money gets to trickle down to other people? But imagine if you pay your own Liberian brother 150 US dollars. How does that man think about himself? How does that man think about surviving in the economy? How does that man even think about owning a vehicle for himself?
This government have just gone almost 2 years. Do you expect the government to fix all of these things we're talking about in less than 2 years?
This is a president that came on 42 years experience. He said in one of his interviews that he will get on the ground running. I remember that clearly. He said he will get on the ground running. 2 years more than getting on the ground. A
So, so,
two-year-old
so,
child
so
is
you,
already
you
working.
expected you expected all of these things to be completed in 2 years, to be fixed in 2 years.
Well, I mean, 2 years is enough to put a country on the right trajectory. Let's be clear about that. Donald Trump has been in power for what, maybe 6 months? And you want to tell me what the US government has done in 6 months? In 6 months, what the economy has done? What the steps the government has taken? It's about leadership. If the president stops riding private jet and that money for private jets starts to go to other sectors of the government and starts to enhance the payment and salaries of people, that's progress. I can give you an example. John Mahama, the current president of Ghana, has been in power maybe less than 6 months, maybe 2 to 3 months. The Ghanaian economy is booming. In fact, just a few days ago, he just launched a 24 hours economy. It means the Ghanaian economy is not going to bed. It's not going to sleep. John Mahama in Ghana. Right now, the Ghanaian city is battling the US dollars in Ghana. It's technically going to a point where it might be 1 to 1. This is something that came from almost last time I passed through Ghana was almost 2,000 maybe Ghanaian city to 100 US dollars. It's gone back to probably between 500 to 700. This is progress. It's not about the timing. There is something called political will. What's lacking in Liberia is not about the years. It's not about the time. What's lacking in the country is political will. If you heard the other day that the president's son was competing, though he denied the allegation, but that he was competing with a billionaire Obi Kubana in a club about who spends more. And you say Liberia does not have money? The country has resources. The problem we have is that the people who manage our country, for me, I don't come to talk partisan politics. This protest is not driven by partisan politics. I'm not a sedition. I'm not a UPIS. We are independent people. Mobile Molu, since resigned from the CDC, is an independent person running an organization called STAN. We are a bunch of independent Liberians who are just critical of the way things are run in our country. We want to see a difference, and we are calling on all Liberians to join this effort so that we bring about the necessary change that the country deserves. Liberia deserves better than the Bishas. Liberia deserves better than a few people having 24 hours electricity in the rest of the country. I come from Grand Bassa originally. The war ended when? 2003. Up to today, Grand Bassa County does not have electricity. Can you imagine? I was in Bassa in the last election I contested in Buchanan, and you can imagine it was costing me between $20 to $25 every night to burn generator at my house. This is unfortunate. In a 21st century, and why are we doing that? We go right next door to Ivory Coast and we take electricity now from Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast too was our war. They had their own crisis. Today, our entire southeast of the country is being electrified by Ivory Coast. It means if we never had a neighbor like Ivory Coast, our electricity will not even cross Magibi. Because if we're not for Ivory Coast, we will not even get current in the southeast of the country. Why do we treat the country this way? People get to power and all they think about is buying homes abroad. They think about an exit strategy more than solving the country's problem. This is what
Now,
Liberians have to rise up.
now,
This is what Liberians have to think differently.
now, what do you want? As if I talk about you, I'm talking about Stan and the rest of the group that are organizing this protest. What do you want from the government economically?
We want to see a thorough change in the economy. We want to see Liberians being able to earn in their own country. We want to see more Liberians millionaires and practically billionaires. There's nothing impossible. We need to start making Liberian millionaires. We need to start making Liberian billionaires. We
And,
need to
and, and you
improve.
think the government can do that in less than 2 years?
Of course. Of course. You got to take, for example, you think how Dangote became billionaire in Nigeria? You need to check the statistics, check the record. His Dangote refinery company now, over 20 billion was invested by the federal government. These countries are making millionaires. These countries are making billionaires. They are supporting their citizens to succeed. Take, for example, how do you make your citizens to succeed? I can give you an example. Because that's why I'm talking about infusing some money into your own people. If you
Yeah,
begin
go
to
ahead.
if you begin to reduce even tariff at the port, you help your people. If the man who brings a taxi in the country, if he brings it through the port at a better rate, he's succeeding. If the market women who bring their goods through that port bring it at affordable rates, they're succeeding. Let me tell you, for example, there was a time In 2023, I brought an excavator to the country, and I had to pass that excavator through Abidjan. Through Abidjan. And there was a specific reason because I took that product from China and I brought it to Liberia, but I had to pass it through Abidjan because I could not bring it to the port of Monrovia. From China to the port of Monrovia and removal from the port of Monrovia was around 15,000 US dollars. Bringing it to Ivory Coast and a removal from Ivory Coast from the port of Abidjan all the way to the Locato border will have been around 7,000 US dollars. You see the difference? You see how
Yeah,
Liberia kills? You see how Liberia sucks people business? I mean, if you're a businessman in Liberia, you cannot easily thrive. Why should something coming from China through the port of Monrovia I be paying 15,000, but when I pass it through Abidjan, I pay $7,000? The same product, no difference, everything the same. The country kills.
now
The economy is
what do you
terrible.
have to
We need to do better.
Yeah, now what do you have to say to that person listening to you now who believes that all of these things you are saying for the president to do in less than 2 years, you are not being fair with the government and with the country.
Look, those listening to us tonight, there's one thing I'd like to say to you. And we need to understand this. All the other people who developing their countries today and making maximum progress of the country, many of them did it over 2 years. 1 or 2 years, sorry. It's not about the years. It's about the willpower. What is lacking in Liberia? Did Bwaka need 2 years to start riding private jet? No. In the first 6 months, you were already taking a private jet because it was about him. It was about him. So it's not about whether we're talking 2 years or 3 years. I can bet you can get the government even the next 6 years. They will not change the lives of the people. It's normal for Liberian governments. People change their personal lives than the country. Before I left Liberia, I saw massive transformation at the home of President Bwaka in Riyadh. You pass there every day probably. And you will see that there has been massive development at the home of the president. Where even the road that was before the president is now closed. There's a gate placed there. All the surrounding houses over there are all massively done. But we're talking 2 years? The president has just developed his own life within 2 years. And we say 2 years, too much for him to develop our own lives as a people?
So
Okay.
do you think the president in less than 2 years he cannot put fence around his house probably because he's the president, he's the head of the country. So therefore he must be secure. So don't you think it was prudent for him to put that fence in the gate so that there will be some level of security and not be vulnerable like that to the society or to evil people? Don't you
But he
think?
but he had it before. There were fence around his house. What we're talking about is the modernization, the new modifications that they've put in place. If you went there today, why would a road that the president drives right in front of the hall, they put fence around it? Car road that nobody using, they put fence around the road. Can you imagine? The road that was in front of the president hall has been fenced. You can imagine you fencing road, car road, you putting it in fence in the country in 21st century, even in the most modern countries, do they fence car road? So it's not just about his facility. The road before the president house is in fence. Something that only car can use is in fence. Is that how we spoil the country money because we sit over it? Is that how we ruin the economy? Is that how we change things?
Now, how peaceful will the protest be on July 17?
You say how long?
How peaceful will the protest be July 17?
We are a group of peaceful people. In fact, Chairman Molu has already, that thing I heard the police director talking that we've not done anything like permit and all kind of thing he's talking. It's not true. That's a complete misrepresentation of the fact by Gregory Coleman. Or probably he's not in touch with the Ministry of Justice because he thinks that he's also the spokesperson of the government. He doesn't know that he's the Inspector General of the Police, and the Inspector General of the Police works under the Ministry of Justice. He needs to be liaising with the Ministry of Justice. We've written the Ministry of Justice. We've informed them about the protest, the date, and the time, and everything, and the different points our people will be gathered. And what does the police director do? The police director goes on air and says, "We've not communicated anything about the protest." He's out of touch of the government. Because this man is mostly on Facebook and doing TikTok videos and being a police chief. The man got a whole video crew behind him that when he getting in the car, they opening the door, is on video. 24/7, the man is on camera. But this man failed to even work with maybe transport ministry and other sectors of the country to even put camera in the streets of Monrovia. The police, the police, as soon as something happen in the country, then they running behind telephone company. Y'all get a call law. Y'all get it one yet. That's not all that police depends on. No. You say arson at the Capitol building, and you're looking for people all around the place. You cannot show the public a simple video documentary because the police lacks sophistication. This is a police director who went to Harvard. We don't come across the world and attend all these major schools in the world, go back home and do nothing. Go back home and carry on no transformation. This is simple thing that I here can do in a single day to do policing. To do policing in Liberia is so easy because you can't tell me, like I live here in the West, where when I walk a day, I'm almost like I'm on 24/7 camera. Have you watched Big Brother Naja? The one the girls always talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although I'm not a fan
not
of
fan
it
of
though.
it. Myself, I'm not
I
fan of
still
it.
don't watch it.
But you
Yeah.
see how it looks. When you in a horse 24/7 and camera on you, when you live in the Western world, that's how it is. You technically live 24/7 monitored. That's why people's lives here are based on honesty, based on integrity, because everything about you is monitored. In Liberia, no. You are able to even walk 12 midnight. Here, I can pick up now and walk to a supermarket. Whether it is 4 in the morning, it will be open and I'm able to purchase. That's what we call 24-hour economy. Why is it that way? It's that way because security measures are put in place. Security becomes a priority. What you don't have in the country is security. How can a woman who struggled all her life in Canada come to Liberia, say, "I won't go sleep in my house that I have put all my resources in Marshall," and the next morning, she's dead. She's murdered in cold blood. Lack of security. And what will police do? They come in the house and say, "All of y'all that was sleeping in the house here, we arresting y'all, we're going to torture y'all. Who came here?" Who told you that how you do crime investigation all the time? An archaic way of doing crime investigation, we still do that. Here, where I am, if even I am making a phone call in the morning, the light pole I'm passing on is picking up my voice. It's capturing me because there's a camera posted. The university I attend and the campus I live on, there are over 100 cameras. So why? I live a straight life. I know that as I'm out there, I'm monitored. We can do it in Monrovia from the Harvard trained police director. He understands the fundamental rights and responsibilities of citizens. The US government has put up a statement that even their citizens and their freedom of rights for their citizens should be respected. But the police director is saying, some of y'all want to bring arm to the protest because they want to use force, because their plan is to kill. Their plan is to harm people. Their plan is to endanger protesters. And so, what is their justification? That people are carrying arms to the protest. But that's a lie. There will be nobody taking any arm or whatsoever at the protest ground. These
No,
peaceful market women, Yana boys, motorbike rider, ordinary Liberian citizen who feel the pinch every day about the bad economy that a 42 and 80-year-old president is living beyond. That will be his legacy. This is what
no.
I'm frustrated about. This is
Okay.
why people are coming outside. They're not coming outside because they want to harm anybody. These are peaceful Liberians, and you say they want to bring gun to the protest hall. We beg Gregory Como, march in the streets with us. Get the police to protect the protesters. Don't be doing all the intimidation strategy and then you come back and say, the guys can do anything. They even get 10 people behind it. How you say we not get 10 people to bring to the protest ground, but you want to be intimidating? Leave the protest. Tell us, let the police director announce tomorrow morning and say we encourage the people to protest. When you're coming out, the police will protect you. And you will see the massive thousands of Liberians that will troop on and come up with a policy statement for the retweaking of the Bwaka-led administration. We are prepared to put thousands of people in the streets of Monrovia and will be there until President Bwaka comes to pick up the statement. And will
Now,
be on those streets until the government listens.
okay. Until the government listen. Now, someone is sitting in the corner. They want to attend this protest, but their issue is has to do with how peaceful will it be. Now, can you tell us? Don't you think that state should be coordinating with local authorities like the Liberian National Police so that they will avoid chaos and confrontation? Don't you think that?
That's what we've done already. Chairman Molu and the rest of our people, the leadership structure on the ground, have communicated with the Ministry of Justice. We are law-abiding citizens. We make sure we follow the guidelines that will be prescribed for the protest. We make sure we got a policy statement that is drawn up. We got things that we want the government to do on working on the rule of law, on making sure security is provided for our citizens, making sure jobs are created for the people. Too many people are jobless in the country, no opportunities for people. Okay, a few handful of government people and their family members. Imagine, I heard and I was told the other day that the CSA director, Civil Service Agency Director Josiah Joker, the same man who firing everybody from the government, got his wife working to JFK, brought her from America. They say that land of milk and honey that all of them can keep enjoying. Brought her and she working to JFK and paying her thousands of dollars. But this seaman has been running beyond other citizens in the government, dismissing them. Because what? They think that they are quote unquote seditions. This is what
Now,
needs to stop. So you can bring your wife to come work in the government, to work at JFK, but you can fire other people, wives and their children. And let me say this.
yeah, go ahead.
It's one thing that the Unity Party folks will always say. Every time we talk about the protest online, they say, bring your wife, bring your children to the protest. And then, buddy, I ask them one question. June 7, Joseph Boaka endorsed June 7. Did he go there? Did his wife go there? Did Jojo Boaka and Tantan go there? June 7 protest. June 7 protest. Most of the Unity Party people went there. Kula Fofana went there. Her husband was there. Or, in fact, the Kula Fofana said were there. Let's ask ourselves. Mo Ali, okay, he was at the protest. Were his wife and children at the protest on June 7? So when they ask people about bringing their wives and their children to protest, were their wives and their children at the protest? On June 7, 2019, can Mo Ali show you photograph of his wife and children there? The people who run the current government, all of them supported June 7 protests. Were their wives and children and their family members all standing in the protest? Or that today they're asking other people to bring their wives and their children to protest? In
But
fact,
that's what some
the
Liberians believe that politicians
government
always
is
use them
why the
to
government is
acquire
already
what they want.
Yeah, why the government is already safe now? Are their wives and children in Liberia? Some of the ministers, the government safe because they said before auditors were dying and other people were dying under the CDC administration, so they could not live in Liberia. Liberia were not safe. Okay, good, we understand. Now, because I did not work in the CDC administration, so I can ably talk about happiness. It doesn't matter. But now that they are in government, why many of them families still stay abroad? Why? Why they not bringing their family then now to the country to also live there with them? Many of your ministers in the government, their families are out of the country. Their wives and children are out of the country. But they are running the country now. They say the country is safe. Why they can't bring their wives and children now to run the country? To sit down at home with them? The reason is simple. They take the place like a hustle ground. They take the place like one village where you come, you take everything you can take, you move back. And the US government has to start helping us. The other day, I saw France seizing the property of one of the Obeng. I think they come from Equatorial Guinea, where the president has been in power for 45 years and his son is the vice president. France were able to seize on his property. The American government has to start helping the Liberian people, seizing some of these buckers' property abroad. The stealing will stop. How you come from a country and you take all your money and you buy property abroad and you pay your mortgages abroad? How you can be a minister in the country but you renting in your own country and then we paying the rent? I was just hearing about one other man from RAA, Internal Audit Agency, also, I heard that the car that he drives is being paid for. They rent the car for him every day. His own car he driving, renting. Some of them they live in houses. Then government give them money for the house.
Mr. Bilal, you
Yes,
earlier talked about the protest being a sustained protest. You say you will sustain the protest. How long do Liberians expect the protest to last for? Are you getting me?
yes. The thing is, we we basically have a whole rundown of what we intend to do. Okay,
Okay.
so we drew up a policy statement that we are going to issue to the government, and we expect the government to be able to live up to some of these demands. There will be a list of things we want to see the government live up to. There will be timelines drawn up for the government to live up to those timelines. We will need government officials to come to receive that policy statement, and we need the president to come to receive it. If the president does not come to receive the statement from the people, from his own citizens, will continue to remain there until the president thinks he can come pick it up for her. Is that easy? It would be that easy. So
As
if it would
in
be
case
for two
the
days,
government decide to send another person,
if it would be for 2 days, 3 days, we will be there until the president comes to receive it. That is the mandate. How
so
can the
only the
president?
president you want to
Well, how
receive
will? Of
the
course,
petition.
of course, the president has to come to receive the statement. Oh, the president could go way to Grand Jida County to bury someone who died since the 90s, but the president cannot come to receive from the levy. He should be able to. He should be able to. So we will be there. We will be there peacefully, ensuring that the president comes to receive the petition from our people. This
Why only
is
the president you want? Why only the president you want for him to receive this petition? Why only him?
because in any modern democracy, the president runs the state. Everything happening in Liberia is run from the presidency. It's run by the state. So why the president should not come? Why the president should not come to receive the petition? The Liberian people have since yearned for a day that there will be complete transformation in their lives. That time is now. We cannot continue to be like the people say spectators in our own country. Journalists can be spectators. The market women can be spectators. The Yana boys can continue to be spectators. The business people can continue to be spectators. Times are high. Rate is going up. Gasoline prices going. Do you know the petroleum product, the price for petroleum product affect almost everything in an economy? I gave you a
Oh,
few days from now. It will affect transportation. It will affect businesses. It will affect everything. And what the lie they tell that because there is war in the Middle East. No, the war in the Middle East lasted for 12 days. The war in the Middle East is over. The countries in the Middle East are progressing with their lives. The price for petroleum product is far lower. Last time I saw it, I think last time I sent the statistics to someone was around 0.60 or zero point 0.5 something for a gallon of petroleum product in the Middle East. And you say today to the Senate, the reason why gasoline price is high in the country is because of the war in the Middle East. When the war is over, we have to be serious. LPRC is a storage center. LPRC should be able to store product for us for maybe up to 4, 5, 6 months. Okay, that why people will tell you say America lives on reserve. When
no.
Liberia was fighting war, when our iron ore and things couldn't go, they were still facing car because they have reserve. You can't tell
Okay.
me we run a country and we don't have reserves. And you say 12 days of
Okay. So
war
now,
stop everything in the country. It has to stop.
now, yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to the stand and those other civil society groups and Liberians that are planning this protest. How involved are the youth and other civil society organizations into this particular protest, and including market women? How involved are they? Because how are you talking about market women, youth, and other groups? Are you getting me?
Yes. So the thing is, we got different groups of people who are meeting different people. So the
Okay.
market women are fully energized. Like I think the last time you saw, if you go on Chairman Molu's page, you will see that the motorbike riders have endorsed the protest. Okay, the PROSA, which is a student group from the University of Liberia, has also endorsed the
Yeah,
protest.
Progressive Student Alliance.
Of course, there are a lot of groupings. People in West Point, we had a meeting, Newtown, Claratown, and other places. The other day, he was in Maggie trying to solve a problem there, and all of that. Okay, so the protest is getting massive support. And we are going every day and every evening from one station to the other station, still engaging. We run our own enough is enough show as well. So we are engaging. The diaspora community is supporting. We continue to see people come out and support the protest. We got hotlines across the country. People who want to get involved to get involved with this protest, and we will wholeheartedly welcome everybody's support. We look forward to political leaders and other people endorsing this protest. We want to see more endorsements from individuals. I am very sure this week and next week you will see members of the legislature. Some prominent members of the legislature will begin endorsing this protest. Some prominent officials, in fact, some government officials who feel dissatisfied are undercover endorsing the protest. It's a protest for Liberians. It's not for a specific
How,
group.
how true is that about government officials endorsing the protest? How
You think
true is
everybody in
that?
the government happy with the government?
Who are some of those government officials?
No. If I tell you that the behind the scene endorsing the protest and talking, government officials are behind the scene talking to us, and because there are people, disenchanted Unity Party partisans are joining the protest. People who walk in the water, walk in the mud, walk in the purple water on the day Unity Party was launching, and since they came to power, they got discouraged. That, oh, I thought we said here yesterday that George Weah were using private jet, and we were voting against George Weah because he was using private jet. Waka Khan, he using private jet. United partisans are disappointed. The other day, there was a video documentary about a lady who is selling as common as how you call the stuff they sell with bananas, with peanuts. They got the name for it. The beta cola.
Yeah,
As ordinary as beta
yeah,
cola
Beta
is.
Cola.
Yes. The lady had an interview. I don't know if you saw that, where she was complaining
I
that
saw that video.
Beta Cola has gone to, I think, 100 Liberian dollar for one. How terrible the situation is. This woman was talking about owing almost 40,000 Liberian dollar because since she bought it, she can't even get her money out of it. But she supported Unity Party. You know why that woman supported Unity Party? Because she thought lives will improve. She thought she would move from what she was doing to a better life. Unfortunately, things are in reverse in the country. They're moving forward. Things are in reverse. Then we thought the country will be moving forward. I gave you a few days from now. If they do not settle the gasoline problem, you will start standing in the same queue to look for gasoline. And when you start creating these narratives that because war is fighting in the Middle East, so we don't have, then there becomes hoarding. And hoarding is that process where the people who got some gas now in the country will start hiding it. Because they will start saying to themselves, the sooner we get, let's keep it here. And when they start to keep it, what happens? Then everybody starts to struggle. That's what's going to happen. Because the government that should be saying we got enough product in the country to supply the Liberian market, the government is saying because we're fighting in the Middle East, we do not have products. What do you think the man who has his product, he 20,000 gallons of fuel in a tank, do you think he's going to put them outside? No. So the government is creating its own problem.
So now let's look at how are you financing the entire protest? What's the source of income anyway, as it relates to the financing of this entire protest? Because protest is very much expensive.
Oh, it's very expensive. And I agree with you 100%. And this is where the magnanimity of the people come in. This is where you see Liberians with courage coming. This is where you see people tie their stomach with poverty, but to come up with their integrity, their honesty, and their loyalty to stand up for something. It is not about the money. People are prepared to walk, whether it's coming from Brewerville, whether it's coming from Kakata, whether it's coming from Habel, whether it's coming from Mabaso. People are prepared. Tomorrow, I'm appearing on another radio in Basso. We're passing on the message. People are contributing their $5 and their $10 for this protest. It's about the people. So it's not about the money. Yes, we are struggling financially. Yes, the economy is tight. Yes, there is no money for this protest. But our real money are the courageous Liberian people who are ready to stand up to their government. That is the money. That is the opportunity in this. When people stand up for their rights and stand up for something, we like to thank the courage of these Liberian people who are prepared to stand up for their rights, stand up for development, stand up for opportunity for all Liberians, stand up for system to be put in place, stand up for people who have been recklessly dismissed every day here and there from the government only because they are seditious or they come from ANC or they come from this party. We are all Liberians. And why they are removing these people, bringing their own family people all into the government space. Government is for the people, by the people, and of the people. It's for all of us. And government activities must be able to trickle down. Because the man who sells in the market, there's technically a way that he survives on the state. When he goes for his goods, when he brings his materials in, the rates and things that are dropping, it also helps to drop his business. But when these things are all difficult and times are tough, this is what you get. So we stand up. We understand the challenges, but we ask all of our people. You've been going through 2 years of hardship under the Bwaka administration. Standing up one day and standing for a cause will do nothing. So you stood
Now,
up for 2 years in a difficult situation. You can stand up for
since
a day or 2 days.
since you people announced this protest, we have not heard any top politicians endorsing this entire protest. Do you think those politicians are joined away from the protest? What's the conversation you are having there for Eastern former President William? And it's not Cummings, the legs of Musa Belete. These are political leaders, but they are shouting, almost like shouting away from the protest. What do you think is the
I don't
cause?
I don't think people want to shy away from protests or not. The situations in the country today can clearly tell you that people are waiting for a wake-up call. People do not want to politicize the protests. That's one of the reasons. All right. If George Weah, for example, were to endorse the protest tomorrow morning, or Alexander Cummings or whoever, you will be thinking that they are the key sponsors of the protest.
But we saw the current president endorsing actually the June 7 protest 2019, including the same Arizona Cummings.
Of course. So we give it some time. Probably at some point in time, they might want to, or probably they also think they don't want to politicize it. This is a whole civil right movement of people who come from diverse political background that are coming to protest. Like some of us who do not stand with a political party at the moment that come into the protest. The Moba Molu, who no longer is aligned with a political party that is coming to the protest. So this protest, I mean, is not driven by political people aligned with political party. It's driven by civil rights movement and actors who want to change for their country. It's driven,
Now,
it's driven by
the-
people who are suppressed on their jobs every day. It's driven by people who got huge bills to contend with. It's driven by people who remain jobless in their country when government officials are bringing their families and friends from abroad to take up jobs in the country. Check around you. Where do many of these guys come from? All their lives in the last 6 years were they in Liberia? They are all running back home. The job market open. The job bust. They're running back home. And what's happening with the ordinary people? They're stranded. They cannot even get
now,
buses.
you you
Buses. They cannot
you
even get.
talk about you talk about the organizers of this protest. They are not aligned with political parties, and they are not fully involved into the political activities of the country now. But let's look at the chairman of STEM, Mobile Molu. Mobile Molu have always been a political answer to the current president. From 2005, come all the way, he's been like an answer politically to this president. How do you reconcile that? Now this president is a president, and now he's calling for a protest against the president, but you want for people to believe that he's not political.
Moba Molu is former chairman of the CDC. He now runs STAN, a civil society movement. There is diversity about human lives. We all in our lifetime shift from one thing to the other. When I gave you my profile some 10, 15, 20 years ago, I was a journalist. Yes, I'm a journalist by training, but I'm actively involved into civil society work today. We metamorphosize into other things. That's the nature of human being. And when we move forward and move on with our lives, we cannot still be aligned with our past. All right? I ran as an independent candidate in the last election in Basel. I portray an independent mindset. I do not support a political party at the moment. But yes, when we stand up for our country, people will align up with parties. People do that to me all the time. They call me sedition. They think I'm for the CDC because I critic. But I was critiquing George Weah yesterday. When I was critiquing George Weah yesterday, seditions were calling me UPIS. Today, I'm critiquing the Broadcast administration. They are calling me sedition. So you see, but this is what we stand for. This is the work we choose to do. Mobile Molu is a civil. Before Mobile Molu even came into active political party alignment, he was one of those calling for the war crimes code establishment in Liberia. I remember when I was a journalist covering places. Mobile Molu was arrested when former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan was coming to the country because under the Ellen Johnson's administration, they were calling for the establishment of war crimes court in Liberia.
Although,
They are
although when they
civil
took over, he
society
didn't
guy.
call for it again.
I mean, he didn't have to, but there were people in the CDC administration who called for it. I know, for example, I saw an interview where Jefferson Kochi called for the establishment of war crimes court for Liberia. So seditions were calling for some seditions were calling for it. A Moba Molu did not do that fine, but I know that Moba Molu engineered the idea for the establishment of war and economic crimes code in Liberia. So he had his civil society movement, upbringing. It moved
No.
into politics. and later on gone back to civil society what he started in his lifetime. People can trust any of us. We are people who are committed to struggles. We are people who do not want so much to survive. This protest is not going to be like it was in the last time, a partisan driven protest where you saw people who have political interests running a protest. Darius Dillon then were only in a protest because he wanted to be senator. Henry Costa then were only in a protest because they came from a political establishment. This protest is not being driven by political actors. This protest is being driven by people with civil society mindset who are going to work with other actors, market women, young and boys, jobless people, and people from all over to come and join a movement for change. This is what we're calling for. This is
Now,
what we need.
now you talking about the 17. You people will be hoping for the president, will be demanding for President Bora to come and receive your petition. Can you tell us some of those things that you have in the petition? Probably maybe 3 or 4 of those things that you want for the government to do that you will be demanding.
We're talking about a respect for the rule of law. We're talking about the economy getting better. Uh, we are talking about jobs for Liberians, opportunities for Liberians. We are talking about the reduction in prices and basic commodities. All right, certain things in the country should not be that expensive. Certain things in the country. We say we want to open tourism. We say we want to bring in foreign investors. Security must be in place. These challenges must be curbed. In fact, just to fly to your country, the last time I wanted to fly from where I am home, it was almost 2,700 US dollars. The economy is terrible. Even flights are difficult. Okay? Why you think every Liberian that is flying to some country, whether you're going to Asia, the West, the Middle East, or America, you got to go to Ghana first? Why you think people have to go to Ghana? They run to Ghana, then they take the next existing flight to the next movement. Because even flights is tough time for the country. And you know why all the prices are being charged for flights and things? Because of the tariff. I was told the other day that not knowing the tickets we buy in the country, the government can tax those tickets at high rates. So to buy one ticket to go Ghana alone, you pay around 900 plus US dollar just for 2 ways. I remember way back, we used to pay 500 to 600. In fact, we used to pay 300 for one way. Today, it gone high. Everything is tough in the country. Times are difficult. And Liberians are feeling the pinch of the bad system in the country. And this is what this call is about. It's a call for us to stand up. It's a call for us to work together. It's a call for us to call on our government to begin to change things for the better for the people.
Now, do you think that this
Government will
protest
listen.
will bring about policy change within the governance of our country?
We're very optimistic. In Kenya, when there was a protest, I think a year ago or something, in fact, the entire executive branch was overhauled. Ministers were changed, new faces were brought into the government, new things were done. There was a particular bill that the government was bringing to increase tariffs on the people. That bill was changed completely. I mean, these things are meant for the good of the country. These things are meant to give a new vision, new direction for the country. That's what these protests are about. Sometimes people get to sleep when they get in government. They start sleeping, they forget. They no longer talk about those things they used to talk about. Protest is a wake-up call. That no, it's not because we all who were living in this community yesterday, you sell your horse, you could not find gas for it. Not because your horse now, you get generator in the back, like the way they paying Patrick Horner 3,000 just for a generator. Because you get it now, so the country good now. All the posts you used to do now, I saw my friend Steven Johnson, who came from America to get him job there. He was one of the loudest talkers the last time. In fact, right now, because he afraid for people to even comment on his post, he changed the setting of his comments so that nobody can comment on his post again. Steven Johnson, I saying it loud on the radio. They're doing it now. You can imagine how our people behave when they come to government. Their own partisans are saying when they call them, they can't even pick up the phone. They're partisan. There is no group of people disappointed today than Unity Party partisans. not knowing this system was for a small clique of people, a small group of people. That's what the government was. From the day they put a few group of people in government, the government finished. The rest of the people struggling.
Okay, do we expect, because these are things that people are being very careful of. Do we expect to see the protests calling for some resignation, persecution, or some systemic reform in the government?
It will definitely call for some definite systemic reforms. We are very
Okay.
optimistic that a lot of things will change. This is a wake up call. We will be calling on the government to do better than it has been doing for the people. We'll
What's
be
about
calling.
resignation?
What's about what?
Resignation. Will you be calling for some people to resign from the government?
We don't want to get the cast off the bag. I don't want to jumpstart what it would be in the petition, but I know it's being put together by a professional team of people. There's a specific committee responsible for that. We respect their wisdom and their judgment, and we know that whatever they come up with will be not just for us, the people who will be leading the protest, but it will be for the country. It will be the best for the country. What the demands will be things better for the country. We can't sit in a country. Come on, we can't sit in a country where over 10,000 foreigners are working, but Liberians can't work. That's
But
a
you as an individual, do you believe that there are some people in this government need to resign? You as an individual,
I definitely think so. I definitely think so. There are some serious unknown performances.
where are
There
some
are
of those
some
people?
there are some serious. I don't want to jump start this game because at the end of the day, I said our team is working on something, on a whole petition statement, and
Yeah, but we are talking about your personal opinion.
no,
It don't have to be the
my
organization.
personal opinion will override the overall objective. And I don't want my personal opinion, but I can tell you there will be some critical demands. There will be some critical demands. And those critical demands, if it will call for the issue of some people getting off the boat, we have to reach that point. But we
Do
have
do do Labrador expect for you to call for the president to resign?
it's not a step down campaign. That's why it's called We the People Protest. Enough is enough. It's not a coup. It's not a step down campaign. It is a concern that Liberians are going to raise and demand some things. And as we demand, we hope the government listens. And if the government does not listen, the people will continue to demand. And we are not going to stop until the government listens and until the president comes to receive the petition. So we are very clear about that. The president will have to
Okay.
come to receive the petition. We'll make our demands as a people. Liberians are suffering a lot. Times are difficult. You cannot, in a country like ours, get 10,000 people, foreign people. I came the other day to the country and I rode with almost 50 to 100. I think I posted it on my page 50 to 100 Indians. They were coming to Liberia. And when I got down, I was asking myself, what are these people coming to do here? They say, oh, they came to work. On one flight, almost 100 Indian people coming to the country to come take job, go to metal steel. The Indians are cooking when Liberians can cook. They're working in those same canteens when Liberians can do those jobs. We cannot be giving ordinary jobs to everybody. Go right to B Mountain, for example. The company is procuring its own water. The company is facing its own tissue. The company is doing everything practically for itself. But then why are Liberians doing tissue business? Why are Liberians selling water? How do we empower our people when we give the rights to these same companies to do everything for themselves? This is unfair to the people. How can you get metal steel as a company, been here for almost 10, 15, 20 years, and practically the employment of Liberians does not surpass maybe 5,000? It's unfair. We have to start. The last time I saw Metal Steel making an announcement, I just laughed. These guys were saying to us that 200 people were just employed. This is a multi-billion-dollar company telling you 200 people just employed. You know, in the economy I am, what kind of company can employ 200 people? That restaurant can employ 200 people. A multi-million dollar company was announcing that they had just hired 200 people. When they gave one Liberian a senior management job in the company, then they can make it big news. They never tell you about the white man that the job made senior manager. They never put it in the press. But when they make one Liberian general manager for the other department, then it can get in all the newspapers. Why we treat our people like this?
Okay.
Our system needs
Okay.
to
So
change, and we need to demand better.
yeah, we're going like 10:31 right now into this interview. So let's see if we can go to the phone lines, because lots of our callers usually we give them long time, because we know lots of people always want to participate on the show. So Mr. Bledy, if you have pen there, probably you can take some points. Probably other people may be asking some questions and
Yes,
making
just
some points.
yes, I can do that. And you can just jot some down too, but I will look around.
Yeah, I have mine here. I have mine here.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
good. Let Liberians talk. I like to, whether positive or negative, it's good. Let the people talk. We want to hear what the people go through every day in the country, what the situations look like. We need to know that. Liberians need to speak,
Okay.
because this is what this protest is about. It's for all of us to add our view on the pinch that we feel in the country, because we deserve better for the country.
Okay, so folks, those of you just joining us, you are listening to the Talking Point on Blaze Radio 90.7 FM, and we are in conversation with Mr. Toga Alexander Bedi. Sorry, that last name.
Hear that.
Okay, bearded. Okay, bearded. Yeah. We're in conversation with him. So we are talking about the July 17th protest. He is the media coordinator for We the People campaign in Europe. In Europe. So we are in conversation with him. So wherever you are, you can call us on 0779079077 call us this evening to have your say. Look, I know the phone line really been ringing since we started this conversation. Let me go and take this first caller on this line. Uh, Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you and good evening to your guest, Mr. Biele.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your name?
I'm P. Abraham B. Wisse, and I do join you from the most popular intellectual center on GSA Road, Miracle City Intellectual Forum.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I think our ideology align with Mr. Biele ideology as well, because the Miracle City Intellectual Forum is in advocacy for a better Liberia, and our motto is Liberia deserves better. Let me commend him for his explanation and what he brings to the table. I think he makes a lot of sense. Before I leave the line, let me just recount three things. Any government that want to develop a country, unity is key. Rule of law is major. Economy must be prioritized, and service delivery must be efficient and
Okay.
effective.
Okay. That's a more call. So for we'll not keep you on the line for long. The next caller, go evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, go evening. What's your name?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Luther Dominic Sagitio. I joined for Test Christians most of the
Yeah, go ahead, Luther.
And let me commend your student guest for the advocate. But while we support the protest now, see the former chairman, one big heading case. When the former chairman, you were chairman at the time, we are our president. He didn't speak. But I think anyone who want to protest, you should be the marketeers. You should be the ordinary citizen who want to protest. I get flat. Come on, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Luther. The next caller. Good evening.
Ambassador,
Yeah,
good evening.
good evening.
This is just Kama, and I'm from line 6.
Yeah,
Let me say good evening to your online guest.
yeah.
I do appreciate him so much for the level of time. My little disappointment have to come that he is demanding the president, His Excellency Mubarak, to receive a petition from them. And I say it's a very big joke. I think it's from the reality, because if you look at our constitution at fundamental rights, yes, it is a right to protest, but it is a right to present that petition to a lawmaker, legislator, representative, not a president. So if he is calling that the president is mandatory, that this president, the people president will go and receive petition for him, then I think they will remain one more in the street and will protect them. This government is prepared to protect the rights of every citizen. But they should be very careful to adhere by police instructions. Because we have seen in the past time protesters stand in violence on police.
Okay.
We saw the recent let me just before I drop the line. We saw the recent protest. We saw the protesters throwing stones at the police first. So in that case, then the police will retaliate.
All right,
So
thank you.
we ask them to coordinate people well. The police will do their best to protect the maximum security protection for them, and let it be peaceful.
Yeah,
And go
we
by
got to
police
let you go.
instructions.
Yeah. The next caller, good evening.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, okay, go on, my name. What's your name?
I'm Stephen Java calling from Bazata Red Light.
Yeah, go ahead from Basseltown Red Light.
I want to say thanks to your studio guest for his deliberation. But one thing I want you to understand that people like Moriba Molu should not even listen to them because they are not very serious in this country. So that thing why he said he had in the protest of June 17, I think it should be the ordinary citizen, not government official, not even hierarchy of the CDC, not ANC. It should only be the ordinary citizen should have this protest. But people like Moriba Molu, they are looking for what? Relevance, trying to gain relevance from the citizens. So I think you should find different thing to do.
Okay.
Thank you for that show.
All right, thanks for having us. Say the next caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name?
My name is Abraham Ross. I'm calling from Ominga.
Go ahead, Ibi, from Uminga. Move from the north, Ibi.
Alright, okay.
Go ahead quickly. Okay, yes, I went. 077 907 907 0887 11107. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, I'm David Smoke calling from Lower Magabi County.
Yeah, go ahead, David Smoke.
Suffering Town.
Go ahead, David.
Thank you for your studio guests. You see, if the government is not proceeding well, the people will protest. And it is what that we are standing for. We are going to protest. Nobody is going to stop us because the government is proceeding wrong. See how business is going. Foreigners selling cold water. Foreigners selling black. You think that's how it's supposed to be? We Liberia business people, we will not sit down for other people to just come and overrun or in this country. We got to stand for our right. The government is proceeding wrong. Look at Aslam Meta, multi-million billion company employing 200 person. You think what is mean? Liberia is not proceeding well.
Okay.
To proceed well.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Say, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, so I'm James Tumu right from KBS community.
Yeah, go ahead, James.
Okay, thanks to you and your studio guests. When it comes to the issue of protest, for me, I know the country is hard and people should exercise their right. But what I deep forward here is, if it has to do with Chairman Molu, who fought from 2005 to 2017 and the party got in leadership. And he said sat in the leadership, undermining the government, saying the president had to sleep with people and get jobs. The president will go out and get money and eat it on his own. At the end of the day, when the power moved from in the head, he wants to sit down on the sidewalk, trying to put people in the street. I'm sure that he played double standard. He don't want to blaspheme people. He did not betray the CDC for nothing. The money that he betrayed the CDC for, let him say that he didn't stop fooling people around here.
Okay.
They want to protest. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for having us. Say, the next caller, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
The first female caller. Yeah, go ahead. What's the name, Mama?
My name is Rita.
Go ahead. Where are you calling us from first? Rita? Oh my God, I lost the first female caller. 0777 907 907 887 11107. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, what's the name?
It's
calling from rehab.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jefferson.
Yeah. You see this government achieving the power. Really, the RG is a cause. When you see every protest in the government, the RG is the one who can get instruction to the police guy to beat on the people. He always says that during hard to learn, and every time that during going on the street to protest, and the government proceeding wrong, what do you expect? Even South Africa, it happened there. It happened all over. It happened all over the world about this particular RG who is Gregory Common. He did it again when he was in Bongane as a police commander. They killed a police killed a student there. It was not easy. The reason why they took him from there.
Okay.
You understand?
All right. Thank you.
So Gregory Common is a problem in this country.
Okay.
As a police RG. I don't know why they had to appoint as a police RG.
Okay.
Not
Thank
even
you.
know a function.
Thank you. Good evening.
Please allow me to ask your studio guest a question.
Mama, you call first.
Please, I beg you, please.
30 seconds. Ask a question. Only the question.
Yeah, only the question. Your studio guest said Joseph Walker blocked the road. Fine. Well, just we are hot and we are. He didn't block the road.
Okay, thank you.
People,
no, thank you.
These are not
we are not taking. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, all right. This is Bob Tully calling from Painesville.
Yeah, go ahead from Painesville.
Yeah, I want to thank you for the show. And I want to thank the studio guest for his deliberation. You know, it beats my imagination when people are pointing fingers to Moluba Molu for not being involved into civil society, initiatives. And they are saying ordinary Liberian. Who is an ordinary Liberian and who is not an ordinary Liberian? Is he in government? Is he a participant into any political affairs? So the guys claim that they are educated and they don't even know who to call ordinary Liberian. They should just keep quiet, shut their mouths up, and people should exercise their franchise. Or I want to urge the Liberian people, go do your protest. The RG said he's going to provide guardians, which of course we hold him for that statement, and we believe he's going to do that.
Okay.
And the rumors around, we pray that nothing should happen. We all should just pray to God that it should be peaceful, and all the guys should just keep their mouths shut.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody is an ordinary Liberian.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having us. The next caller, the Lone Star caller, I keep missing it. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, first of all, I will commend the chairman I was talking today about protest.
What's your name?
I'm Patrick Meza calling from Sublin 11 Joffrey.
Yeah, go ahead, Patrick.
Well, the problem about in the country, it will marry protest, it will not go forward. Those are talking about protest over there, working on you, what about protest? You will not know that chairman here. I want to put you in one of food, that's why the air, they say, purify them, we go. So that's why protest in the country, it can't be forward.
Okay.
I'll stop there.
All right, thanks for having us. This Lone Star caller, good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, this is that calling from Gaza.
You're calling from Dwazon, go ahead.
Yes, that is protest.
You are coming broken.
Yes, in regard to the protest, I support it 100%. Because looking at our country now like this, we're talking about the country where we are going looking at security. There's no security. Really, as I put down, terminate our contract up to now, there is no threat. Our money up to now is very hot. When the people give us their children, we're going to give our money up to now. There is nothing. Small friends and not die in the process. People are getting sick.
Okay.
Even out of school. It is not easy.
All right.
So what are they saying to us?
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next caller. Good evening.
Ambassador,
Yeah, good evening, Pascal David.
thank you. So the guest, Mr. Bladen, it's from last time. The police, RG, if you like, don't even come to protect us. We will protect ourselves. Besides, the people who don't go there will be with our family there. We're not telling you to come with your family. Stay down to your home with your family. We will go to protest. So we ask you to bring your family there. Sit down with your family. Move beside. Molu was chairman of CDC. He did not work in government. Military party chairman of Luther Tape. A both chair to NPA. You see the difference? Just ago, on Sunday, no emergency in the country. The president signed deal worth 1.8 billion on Sunday. No media. KONAH never know last week. KONAH. The media was, no, don't be laughing now. They deny you. Open government, transparency, accountability. But they deny the media going to see the government going into an agreement worth 1.8 billion. If that thing not scare you, they are telling you the government don't get in the water to ask the judge. Look, Mr. Blader, the police RG can threaten us, you can intimidate us. But man, you can kill everybody. Some people will live.
Okay.
And the people will live, they will live to tell the story. The ones who will die. So that just that million men, million buses. No, as I conclude, so as you can hear, the people will carry a gun. And you know the people who already get a gun, go get a gun from them.
Okay, go get it from them.
Go get a gun from them. Eh? Go get it from them.
Okay.
We will find off and we will remind the old age president that he is there to do better for our country.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you. The next caller, good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Gabriel, joining from Tinga Village, Gaza.
Yeah, go ahead, Gabriel.
Yeah, the issues of the protests, I don't think people there are party. You get me? So the government shouldn't be jittery over this illegal protest to take place the 17th of July. The only thing that we all will pray on is protesters should not be constructive, should be in line with the police orders and so on. But the protest is to tell the government to do a refuting because the government continue to lie. The government lied over the last year that yellow machine was coming in the month of June. We didn't see it. Now they're talking about this year, October, we see yellow machine. You get me? Government lied 350 pieces of buses, 2 buses, bridge and ready for the executive marshal. Up to now, we can see the 350 pieces of buses. So they continue to lie to the people, people living out of poverty. The hard are taking over the country, the black people too much in the street. You get me? So they have to do the reporting. Is the reason they gave me the protest about.
Okay. All right. Thank you. The next caller, good evening.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello.
My name is Howard J. I'm calling from EFWE.
Yeah, go ahead, Mahawa.
My brother, you know the problem there. For what the men say, they market women. We are suffering. You can't go. They're talking about Joria can't. I bring 2-3 bags of pepper. I will sell it. It will finish. My children will eat. I will pay their school fee. But now, even if you go and buy 1 bag of pepper, sometimes it will sit down. It will be there. You will be thinking how will the children eat. You will be thinking how you will do this, how you will do that. There is no business going on in the country again. My friend that used to beat Lapa on talking the changes we can. I'll tell you the last time she was complaining. I didn't know. We want the changes. We want to see your changes. And to that man, I was saying that George, you know what you used to. And he has real black there. For me, I used to pass the wheelbarrow in front there. Down to the security said they buy it from me. Then we're joking. So Jorata, we used to pass through there with wheelbarrow. I'll answer your question.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having us. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm getting some females. What's your name?
My name is Melissa Henry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much for the show this evening. For what the EPL and they pull down, if they want to kill all, they will kill up, but will be their life because they lie every day and night that they pay off. And we receive nothing from anybody. This government lie to us. They keep eating, sack us, will all paying us off. And they lie to people say how they pay all, they settle us. So we'll be there. And the police want to come and kill us for our right. We'll fight for our right. So we'll be there live.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for having us here. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Okay, let me take this call. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Ambassador.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah. I want to say thank you for your show.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Bill Ruben Gongo. I thought you converted in Weaver completed this part for the Rado County.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I want to thank you quickly for your just explanation. This time with the business.
Yeah, 1 minute. In 1 minute, please.
Yeah. Okay. You're talking about renovating the president house. In a war, the Equatorial people here, when they were supposed to leave power, they get basement Kuya. And all the warlords agreed to let basement Kuya for him to end the war. But after basement Kuya won the election, when they came back, they were having a feeling how here, on the window level. The three other people when they completed the Equatorial government said they were corrupt. After they were just announced as president, you stay over here, then you take government money, you go pay your house. The three people who said they were corrupt, some of them are part of the government. Now one day. Secondly, in the war, in 1990, some people said they were protesting, they said, let them monkey kanda, that time they said the president don't want to say let monkey kanda. We were coming from India, on McDonald's small bus, got to 12 feet, got in the crowd, by the time we could bring home, they said some people were having gone and money protester. These people were having gone, they were having long particle gun. They said, I'm coming, they were who sent there, president go comment, they were who sent there. Then president go comment there. No, they're not in like the protester, what were having the gun.
Okay.
So the one where the police director saw, I want for them to take into consideration. Get it?
Okay.
The way I yell my brother say, they will stay in the sea until the president can receive the petition. The lie administration, CDC government, the people when they to go protest, the same President John we have to come from the mountain and go there to go receive the protest, the petition. Also today, nobody know whether you went there to receive the petition or not.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
just pray to God that everything will be done. People will thank you.
All right. Thanks for having us here. Let me take the last caller here because we got to go back to our guests to respond to all of the callers. Good evening. Okay, I cannot keep you on the line. Good evening. Okay, let me take this one. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Abraham. I call, but my phone go over the time. Yeah, thank you for the show. Yeah, they probably in chair. They probably very funny.
Hey, no. Hey, hello.
Yeah.
Don't say that to the president.
What?
Don't. You should know the kind of word to use on the president, please.
Okay, sorry for me saying that one.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. During we are done with the motorcycle, we used to go on traffic. We made our 5,000, 6,000. Yeah, but now when we go on traffic to get 1,000 shares can be hard. We have to pass all around the community. We are in post up the motorbike from going in town. All I want, all the motorcycle in Pinville running to get money. Say half for all people suffering. Look at Omega Market if you can there.
Okay.
They taking water city.
All right.
We are trying to see that thing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the final caller. After this, I'll not take anymore. Good evening.
Hello, Ambassador.
Yeah?
This is Robert King. I've been joining the conversation from so many.
Yeah, go ahead.
I monitor the show religiously. But sometimes you journalists, the question you guys can put before the guests and make them to say the real thing. But you guys just talking on one side. And you're not really giving the actual
My brother, ask your question. You have the opportunity to ask the question, he will answer you.
I expect you to make know that what he's saying is not a one-party system saying, oh, yeah. And if you won't be for this side, be for this side. If you're not, well, I said.
Okay, thank you.
So you generally.
Good evening.
How you doing, sir?
All right, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. This is Tanya Master calling from Lahio GSA.
Okay.
This is your studio guest. But the only thing we the Liberian we have is while the brother is saying we should get in the street to go protest, we receive the president, we can't receive the petition. Is there's other people who go there to go do it. But the reason is the person doesn't come and receive the petition. It will not continue. I've been saying 3 days, 4 days, it will not happen. Other people are going. Everybody will live on the street and come out home. Because Liberia is very stubborn and wicked to one another. And I put it at you, I'm going to make a problem. That
Okay.
makes very problem to the government.
All
So
right.
the very need to see reason to at least warn that man. Because that man is bad.
Okay, thank you. We are out of time. We are out of time. Thank you. Folks, we cannot take any more calls. Sorry, we know the calls. Everyone wants to have their say, but we cannot take any more calls. So let's go back to our guest for him to respond to the callers. So, Mr. Blady, you can respond to the callers.
Thank you, Kona. And for me, my only response is I live in a very democratic place. Uh, I respect people's opinions, whether people were for, whether people had against, or whatever. We respect everybody's opinion. We know one way or the other, we all face the pinch of the economy. We know one way or the other, we all can see that Liberia is retrogressing all of the time from one government to the other. I don't know the problem with Liberia. Why do we have such a situation where past governments always seem better than present governments? Why would somebody tell you today that, for example, if Charles Taylor were to come back, I would prefer voting for Charles Taylor? Why always the past government today, if Ellen Johnson were to get on the ballot, people would prefer to vote Ellen Johnson? So we have had a systemic situation in the country where present government always are in bad shape. Past governments are always better. There is something significantly wrong with the country. People make all the noise, they take power, but like the people can say back home, it become the scene 6 and 7. Things are not changing. Economy terrible. People live in abject poverty. Many of even the people that call today to support the government, many of them are in hardship. Times are bad. Times are terrible for the state. Systems are not in place. And of course, we maintain that we will be at the protest ground until the president comes to receive the petition. So if President Bouaga is flying to Nigeria or somewhere while we're protesting, we'll wait for him to come from Nigeria. That is that simple. You got to be able to respect your citizens. And I want people to realize that this protest is not about Toga Alexander Biede. He's a young man from where Grand Bassa, born and raised there, and is up and standing for a struggle. This protest is not about Moba Molu. No, Moba Molu just having to be a man in a space at this time in history. It's not about him. It's not a glory for him. God prepares people at given time in history for different things. He was just brought in this space. The real heroes and heroines of this protest are the ordinary Liberians who got the courage to stand up to their government and call for their government to listen. You are the real people. You are the real people that Liberians are yearning to see, to encourage them to get out. And I appreciate all of you who called tonight. Thank you for your calls. Thank you for the excitement. Thank you for getting prepared and setting up for July 17. Each one can tell another one to tell another one. Let's get up. Let's set up for this protest. Let's call spade a spade. Let's start getting more people employed. I listened to a lady who is a former EPS officer talking about how disappointed, and something she said, that the same government keeps lying to people and saying we pay all the people now. We not pay all the former EPS. This is the woman confirming on air that they not pay them yet.
Okay.
So thank God that people are coming clearly and airing their views that the government is lying on them. Many of them that were taken from the government, they're not even taking their pay. It has to stop. We have to rally our best minds and our people to get ready. And I'd like to thank you again, KONAH, for this opportunity. And we look forward to seeing soon so that we together can emancipate our people. I call on all media personnel. Now that thing they call class reloaded, that should be your number one disappointment. It's because of that media people are not getting businesses and contracts. This revolution is also about the media. We want to tell these people that instead of class reloaded, put the money in Blaze FM, put the money in Truth FM, put the money in other radio stations. You cannot, as government officials, be funding your own radio program. You are killing journalists, you are killing the media in the country. Thank you very much and have a good night. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Alexander. I believe that for the opportunity coming on the show tonight. I do appreciate you. Thanks a lot for appearing tonight on the show. Folks, that's how we go home on tonight's edition of the Talking Point. We cannot take any more calls. We know the calls are still coming to, but sorry, we cannot take any more calls. So until tomorrow we'll have another guest. So just be there. We're gonna make sure we bring all of the newsmaker to you. Until tomorrow, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye bye from my end.